Well, good afternoon, everyone. I see many of you have joined, so we can start. Can someone please confirm if my screen is visible and can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Guys, can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes, we
Yes, we can
can.
hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Sorry, I was not able to hear you, but yeah, I think I can hear you now. Great,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
great. Uh, how about the cursor, guys? I see still few people are joining. Meanwhile, can you guys confirm if the cursor is okay for you? Color is visible enough. Whenever I click somewhere on the portal, will you is it good enough for you to understand where am I clicking?
Swalwell,
Yes,
please
yes.
zoom the page.
Yes, we'll come to that also. Thank you for reminder. Well, yeah. Well, what about this one, guys? Are you able to read it? Because today we'll be focusing on this page, so it is very essential and important that you should be able to read it. So I hope this is readable enough for you guys. Cursor is good enough. You guys are able
Your
to see
voice
my
is not
screen and you guys
audible.
are able to hear me. Right? And I see many of you have joined. We can get started. Before that, guys, it's a usual practice we do. Before I go ahead and start the next thing, uh, any doubts, any questions on what we have done in our previous session? This question is for people who are there or people who attended the lecture or people who watched the recording, people who missed it. The recording is still there on the YouTube. Provided you have given your email address and I have given you the access, then only you will be able to see it. So, do you guys have any doubts, any questions?
Soil, could you explain about virtualization and hypervisor in brief a little?
Not really, Sana. You won't require it. Don't worry. Virtualization itself, it's a different role. We have, what do you say? We have system admin, like we used to have Windows admin and Linux admin. Then we used to have virtualized admin, VMware admin. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, cloud admin has taken the job. And why it is not required for you in detail? It's because no matter which cloud you use, Azure, AWS, GCP, Alibaba, OCI, any cloud, virtualization has been done already by the cloud vendor. Azure has done the virtualization and then you are working on that. And if there is
Okay.
any issue or there is any troubleshooting related to virtualization, you guys are not responsible for them. You, as in cloud admin, Azure admin, they are not responsible. Microsoft is responsible. That we are going to learn here. So you don't have to know in detail, but as a concept, yes, I'll again repeat it once. Virtualization. Sorry, what else did you say, Sana? Virtualization and
Hypervisor.
hypervisor. Yes, hypervisor will cover, and it's a part of virtualization. So we'll cover virtualization and hypervisor both. But as a concept, you don't have to worry about it. Not a single question will come to you on virtualization, and you won't even have to do any troubleshooting on that. Yes, guys. Any
Okay.
other questions? Any other doubts? And the questions which I have sent to you, I did not mention those questions here because that isn't a part of your course. That was just to give you a brief idea. There are people who are coming from non-technical background, right? Hence, I have given the fair idea to you, and just to test your knowledge, to test your knowledge, you can check it for yourself. Thus, I sent those questions to you, right? So those questions are not going to come in your interview, hence I have not mentioned them here. But whatever questions we are going to cover from today, I'll be sending it to you on WhatsApp, and I will also maintaining them here, task and questions both, right? You guys can refer to this one, compute, and as in wherever we go, whichever topic you cover, you guys can start referring to this one. uh, do not go beyond this. This is all outdated, right? Though questions are there, but these all outdated. Stick till here. The new questions, new topics, new tasks, I'll be updating here after every session. So even if I assign you some task on WhatsApp, and if you don't are not able to find it, feel free to come to this OneNote. I hope by now everyone knows that the link of this OneNote is in the WhatsApp group. Come to this OneNote, refer to the task or question, and feel free to complete that. From last session's question, as I told you, those are not particularly for us, except for high availability and 3 tier. So that will come again. Don't worry about it, but that topic will come again, and that time we'll cover that. Okay. That's about the previous session. Guys, who is this with iPhone 15 Pro Max? Can someone just ping me separately the name? And I urge you guys to please join by your name so it will be easier for me to understand who's joining, who's asking question, what is the difficulty. And it becomes very easy. You can just ping me maybe on WhatsApp or on Zoom call. And if possible, please leave and rejoin using your name. Fine. So let's get started, guys. Any doubts, any questions? Again, I'm asking you before we start cloud. The last session, we did not read much about cloud. We were talking about applications, server, how does it work, how it used to be physical servers, data center, then how virtualization helped, what is virtualization, right? We were discussing those things. We did not discuss cloud. Right? So today we are going to start cloud. Before that, anyone has any doubt or any question, please do let me know. Yes, guys, any doubts? No, no doubts?
No.
No, Sohail bhai, we can proceed.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. So before we do that, maybe I can ask you a few questions because I see you guys do not have any questions apart from the virtualization which Sana asked. So it's good to assume that it's everything is clear to you guys, right? So let me ask you a few questions and maybe I'll pick someone or maybe you can just unmute yourself and answer. So can someone just give me an example of server operating system?
It's enroll. We can enroll on this any of the server to work on the file server, Active Directory server through the
Windows.
server management role.
Can I answer this
Not
question?
really. I think Zahir, was that you who answered?
Yes, I was.
No, my question was, give me an example of server operating system. Yes, Shaheen, you can answer. Shaheen, Sana, whoever was that.
Windows. Yes.
Yeah,
Windows
Windows.
2019. Windows 2025.
Yes,
These are two
1925.
examples. Yeah.
Anyone else other than Microsoft
12.
technology? Yes, 12, 19,
Linux.
22. Yes, Linux. Right, so these are the operating system which we have for server side. Both of them will have client operating system also, but none of our job, none of our business, we are not going to learn client here, right? We'll be focusing on Windows operating system majorly. We'll see Linux also, but ultimately it will be server operating system, right? uh, can someone tell me what is the what is a data center? Let's start with that. What is a data center?
Collection of servers,
It
networks,
is
and
a
switches.
physical place where all the servers are stored,
Yes, both answers are
organizations,
correct.
all
It's
the servers.
collection of server or it's a physical place where servers are stored. But not only for this answer, guys, also for cloud answers, try to elaborate your answer. Do not try to shorten it. Try to elaborate it. Try to eat your interviewer's time, right? Let him or her say, okay, stop, enough. Yeah, I got the answer, right? Try to give a larger answer. That doesn't mean you should start speaking nonsense or irrelevant things. In relevance, try to elaborate it. So a data center, you can say it's a place, to be specific, an on-premises data center. It is a place where we host all of our servers. Now it could be any server, Windows, Linux, any servers, and where we have our hardware, which means a server class hardware here, right? For which we have racks, and then we have networking, we have storage devices, right? We have certain type of condition, for example, controlled AC, where we have multiple ISP connections, where we have multiple electricity connections. Combining all these, that place is called data center, right? Last question, and then we'll start with cloud. What is virtualization, or what is the difference between a virtual machine and a physical machine?
Virtualization is a technique in which the physical virtual version of physical server is created by using one software, and that software is called hypervisor. So this is what I know about virtualization.
Okay, what is the difference between virtual machine and physical machine? That was correct, Shine, though. Next question is, what is
Uh,
the difference between virtual machine and physical machine. Kanika,
हाँ.
would you like to try?
Yeah, sure. Uh, so virtual machine can be a server. It can be a remote desktop operations also, and it will not be a combination of physical hardware, or it will not require any physical uh, devices to be installed to work on. But it is totally based on the host and server based function. And virtual machine is an independent computer that work on physical machine placed on somewhere. So it is all based on the networking, how that IPs are being configured with. So it is for the flexibility majorly.
Okay, correct.
So this is for the virtual machine. And now coming to that virtual machine, we all know that it's a combination of CPUs and the memories and the physical place to be installed with, where we need to have client server thing to be there, where we need to have the routers if we are working for Wi-Fi. So it is kind of a difference in where the networking should be in the form of MAN or LAN.
Got it. Good enough. Good enough. Now let
Thank
me
you.
explain the same question to you guys. This is how our cloud introduction is also starting, and this will answer your doubt also, Sana. Virtualization, right? Guys, I'll be muting you guys because in last session I while uploading the videos on YouTube I heard background noise. It disturbs a lot for other people who are learning from recording, right? So please try to keep yourself mute, and if I see anyone unmute, I'll mute that person. Whenever you want to speak, feel free to unmute. You just because I have muted you doesn't mean you can't unmute yourself, right? But whenever I see anyone who's not talking and unmuted, I'll mute that person, and then try to be on mute unless you have any question. Right now let me explain it to you. What is a physical server and what is a virtual server? So a physical server is that we have already seen servers, right? Let me open an image for you of a server. We'll go to Google. For example, I'm taking Dell server. Doesn't mean there are only Dell servers, right? There are HP, IBM, other servers also. Feel free to search it. Or maybe last time we did check Dell server. Let's say HP server. Hardware here I'm talking about. I have told you already in layman term, in talking term, you will always hear server, but it is a server class hardware I'm talking about. Here I'm not talking about the server operating system, right? But now I won't be using server class hardware. It's not only me. In your emails, in your ticket also, you will never ever hear this term server class hardware. Even if your interviewer says something, okay, my server is crashed, my fan in the server is not working, you don't have to correct him. Do you mean server class hardware? Because server is an operating system, and an operating system doesn't have a fan. Server class hardware is the hardware where we install that server and उसमें fan होता है. So are you referring to that? You don't have to uh, be extra smart in that. It's implied, it is understood that when they are saying a fan is gone or fan is not working or RAM is not working, any physical term they're talking about, so they're talking about server class hardware. No one will say server class hardware, but it is implied they are talking about server class hardware. Okay, so this is a server now. HP server, right? This is a physical machine. In early days, if I wanted to run an application, I have written a software, my coder has written a software, right? Uh, Now I want to install that on somewhere. So I needed a server. Let's say that I purchased this server. Now this server's minimum capacity, even if I take smallest one, maybe it will be 60 GB RAM or 500 GB hard disk, right? I don't need it, right? Or maybe, uh, now don't get confused, I'm giving multiple examples, right? Or maybe I have an application, I have two applications, one which works only in daytime, works as in the nature of the application, which works only in daytime. People are using it only for daytime. For example, Swiggy, right? Because the business model itself, I mean, nowadays it's working in night also, that's a different thing. But let's consider in an ideal situation, the business model itself, it's only daytime. Or let's take an example of public transport, right? Metro, that works definitely for daytime. So I have an application for metro ticket, right? That works only in daytime. I have written a code. Now to run that code, I need an operating system, and I need to install that operating system. And to install that operating system, I need a server. So this is how it is. I will go purchase a server, install that operating system here, install that operating system on this one, right? On top of that operating system, install my application. And fine, it is up and running. Everything is going smooth. But how am I using it? Because the nature of the business is public transport. So from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., that's the only time my application is being used. That's the only time my server is being used. But just because I am using it from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? Does it mean that this seller of HP, they will give me any discount? No. They are selling me a complete hardware. Whatever is the original cost, maybe 2,89,000. This is Dell's price, by the way. But somehow the same prices are there. Maybe 279. I have to pay the full price, purchase this server, and I'm utilizing it maybe just 50% because nature of my application is 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, right? That's all. I can't do anything. This is, I'm talking about beginning, the initial era, right? This is being wasted for me. Okay. This is one scenario. The other scenario is maybe application is working 24 hours, but this server minimum has 32 GB RAM and 500 hard disk. Okay. So excuse me for my writing, guys. I am writing it with the mouse, so excuse me for that. Okay. 500 GB hard disk. But my application, it requires only 16 GB of RAM. By the way, who decides this? इसको कितना RAM लगने वाला है, कितना hard disk? Do you think as a cloud administrator, you are the correct person to decide this? Or as a system
No.
admin?
No, no,
Then what do you think? Who decides
client,
that?
client,
Architect
I
team.
think.
Which role in client? Be it client or you, it doesn't matter. Are you saying client's cloud administrator will be able to tell you? See, even client will have to a cloud admin. Maybe he'll hire 10 cloud admin from some third party. So my question is cloud admin is the correct role to decide this? Be it client's cloud admin or your cloud admin. Is the cloud administrator correct person to decide that how much this application will require, how much RAM this application will require?
No.
No.
Application
Solution
owner.
architect? No. Someone answered solution architect? No. Solution architect will discuss it with client's team, but which team? Who's responsible?
Application team.
Yes, application team, coder, to be very specific, person who's designing this, person who's coding, they know the capacity, they know the length of their code, they know the complexity of their code, and they know that for my code to run, I need minimum Windows 2022, I need minimum 16 GB RAM, I need minimum this, I need minimum that. So you don't have to worry about these information, right? You don't have to worry about these specs. Okay, coming back to our topic. So your application needs only 16 GB RAM and 100 GB hard disk. But what minimum you had, again, I'm talking about the initial time. What minimum you had is 32 GB RAM. So now if you have taken this, you're still using half of the capacity and you have paid full. Right? But that's what it is. That's how it is. You can't do anything about it. ऐसे ही था, this is how you had to deal with this. Right? Then in there is a technology called virtualization which came to picture. It started with VMware. VMware is a company name. Virtualization is a technology. Hypervisor is a software which they use to do what? That I'll explain. That was the first company, but now we have many of them. Right? Now we have Microsoft. Microsoft's product name is Hyper-V. Right? I can create a table for you guys if you want, but let me first explain virtualization to you. Is this part clear to you? That how this is not being utilized completely? What could be the scenario? One could be number of hours, right? Maybe any government app, public transport app, anything which works only 9 to 5, right? Uh, Session codes application. They're working just 9 to 5. After 5 p.m., it is down. RTO application. After 5 p.m., no one is using it, right? So that kind of application or an application which requires very minimum configuration, but you have a lot of configuration. In both cases, server is being underutilized. Underutilized is the term, right? So then what happened? Virtualization came to picture. Now here, let this say this black one, it's representing the physical server which was there initially. This is representing physical server. Okay. Ignore the color. Okay. Ignore the color, guys. I wanted to write it in black, but it's okay. This is virtual. Fine. Now, in this method, what is happening that I am installing an operating system on top of it. This is my hardware. This is example of physical server. Okay, let me write it down. It will be easier. So at least we'll be done with this topic for today, and it will be easier for you to understand cloud. It may take some time, but let's finish it. So this is an example of physical server application. And this is an example of virtual servers application. Right? Now, in both cases, underline there is a hardware. I've told you this in my first session also. Even in cloud, somewhere there is a hardware. Just because we say cloud, that does not literally mean cloud. So, literally कुछ भी हवा में नहीं है. Right? Virtualization, literally virtualize कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Virtual कुछ नहीं है. Underneath, down the line, there is a hardware. Cloud is nothing but someone else's computer, right? So there is a hardware, be it any example. But difference is initially, this is a physical computer. This is a physical server. Let's say Dell 720. Same here. Dell 720. Prior to virtualization, what we used to do, or what was the option, it's install an operating system on this. This is your operating system. I'm directly naming it, let's say Windows 2008 R2. This is the only option I had. One physical server, I can install one operating system. And top of that operating system, I will have my application. Could be .NET application, Java application, right? Anything but one application, not two applications. You can't have .NET and Java application together on one server. So now if I need another operating system, I need another physical server. I need another application, I need another operating system, another this one. Imagine that how this is increasing the number. Then virtualization was introduced. Under virtualization, I'll write it on a separate page. First, let me explain it to you. Here, instead of installing an operating system, what do we install? We install this layer of a software. What is this called, guys? Anyone remember?
Supervisor.
A hypervisor.
Hypervisor.
This is your hypervisor. Hypervisor is again a technology. Hypervisor, it's a technology. It's not a product. Who provides hypervisor? There's a company called VMware, and their product name is vSphere. Then we have Microsoft. Their product name is Hyper-V. Don't get confused with names, right? Hypervisor, it's technology which is helping us to use this hardware. How? I'll explain it that. Who's providing that? VMware. And their product is vSphere. Microsoft, their product is Hyper-V. What are these? These two are hypervisors, right? Is it clear till here, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Yes? No? Anyone?
Yes.
Sana,
Yes.
are you getting it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once you install this on this physical server, now it will give you a layer of operating system with few options where you can divide this configuration. Let's say this server's configuration was 32 GB RAM, RAM and memory is interchangeable word. So whenever I say memory, it means RAM. Okay. 500 GB HDD means hard disk. Right? Do not remember this term. Do not forget it. This will come in cloud as well, and many times, many interview questions will be based on this. HDD means hard disk. Okay. So this is what it has, and it has 8 CPUs. Right? CPUs is also a relevant term. This is not only till here. We are going to use this in cloud as well. This is the configuration we have in this server. Similarly, I have in this server. Here, I'm using one operating system. No matter what my requirement is, I have to use complete 32 GB. Even if my application requires only 16 GB, I have to use complete 32 GB. Even if it is wastage, it is wastage. I require only 100 GB hard disk, right? I have to utilize completely 500 GB hard disk because it is attached with that. That is a minimum it is coming with. My requirement of the application is only 2 CPU, but I have to utilize 8 CPUs. This is what it is. This is how it was. After that, after this virtualization, now we have an option that using this virtualization, what I can do, I can have multiple servers on this physical machine. I can have server number 1. I can have server number 2. I can have server number 3. I can have server number 4, and so on. There is no limit on the numbers. I mean, there is a limit, but it's too big number, so we don't even have to worry about it. It is in thousands on one server, right? But what is the catch here? I mean, this is basic logic. Now you guys tell me, this is my physical server's capacity, right? I can have this, whatever I'm showing here, I can have this. Benefit is that I can here, I can have server 2K8, right? Here I can have server 2K12. Here I can have Linux. Here I can have Ubuntu. So now, where initially on one physical server, I could have only one operating system, I have 4 operating systems now. This is the biggest benefit. Here, if I have an application which requires complete 32 GB but 925, I can use that machine for 925, shut down that machine later, and turn on the other machine in night time. If I have any other application, I can do that. I can divide it also. How can I divide it? It is 32 GB. So do I have to divide it exactly 8 GB here? 8 GB to this one? 8 GB to this one? No, that's not compulsory. It depends on my operating system. If this one requires only 4 GB, I can give 4 GB. If this server requires 16 GB, I can give 16 GB. If this one requires 50 GB hard disk, I'll give 50 GB hard disk. If this one requires 250 GB hard disk, I can do that. What am I dividing? I'm dividing these one. 8 CPUs, I can have only 2 CPUs here. I'm still left with 6. Right? Here, I can have 6 CPUs. Right? I'm still here. I'm done. Maybe I can have 5 because I have other servers also. I can have 4 CPUs. But you cannot go beyond what number? Can I have 8 CPUs here and 8 CPUs here? Is it possible? By your logic,
No,
guys? Why not?
because total capacity of CPU is
Yes.
8 CPU.
Perfect. So that's what you are doing. Whatever is the total capacity of your hardware, you are dividing it in the using a software, and then you are using multiple operating system. All of these can run together at the same time. All these operating system. So initially, where I needed to buy 2,90,000 Kchar server to run 4 applications, now I just have to buy one server, one virtualization or hypervisor, and then I can run my all 4 servers. This is your virtualization. Is this clear to everyone, guys?
Yes.
Right. So whenever you're using a virtual machine, does it mean it is literally virtual and there is nothing physical attached to it? No, there is a physical server. Obviously, there is a physical server down the line. Same thing cloud is doing. Initially, system admin, they were doing these tasks. Then virtualization came to picture. VM admin, they used to do this task. Okay, give us the hardware, we'll virtualize it for you, and then you can install these softwares. Right? That's what we used to do. But nowadays,
But
cloud,
Sohail,
yes.
uh, sorry to interrupt you, but Sohail, in this case for the virtualization, can't we increase the capacity by adding additional servers to it? I mean, the capacity, it totally depends upon the servers what we are adding to. If it's the requirement rises,
Hmm.
then can't we add the multiple servers there to increase the capacities and can put multiple hardwares into it? Instead
Sorry,
of six, we can raise the capacity.
to which one are you talking? Virtualized one or physical example? Which one?
Virtualization, not on the physical server.
Hmm.
I mean, you are telling me about the capacity that up till the capacity we can just divide the
Yeah, no,
servers as per
no.
the requirement.
See, the logic, we're discussing the logic. No matter how much you increase, I
Okay.
was talking about the logic. Fine. Got your point. Yes,
Okay.
it is possible to increase RAM in physical. Instead of 32 GB, I made it 64 GB. But again, my question is, was logical. Then what is the maximum I can have here? Then can I have 64 GB here and 8 GB here? Is it possible?
Agreed.
Let's say.
Agreed.
Yeah. So,
Understood.
yes, you can increase it. Question was logical. Whatever level you increase it to, let's say you get it till 128 GB of RAM. But then if it is 128 GB, you can't go beyond 128 GB here. Yes, you can increase it. You can utilize it here. The logic was this utilization cannot go beyond this number. Got it? Okay. Now, same thing cloud is using, be it Azure, be it AWS. What they have done, they have taken acres of land. They have built their own data center. They have their racks. They have put the physical servers over there. They have done the virtualization also. Till this uh, point, they have done their work. You don't have to worry. See, in this case, system admin had to be worried that what happens if a fan is not working? What if RAM is not working? What if RAM is less on my physical machine? In virtualization case also, they have to worry about it. What if his RAM is not sufficient? What about this one? In fact, what about this one? If something goes wrong with hypervisor software, then what? Right? They had these questions also. But in cloud, cloud provider, be it Azure, AWS, or GCP, they have taken care of these two things. You don't have to worry about the physical server. You don't have to worry about कि physical server Dell का है, HP का है, right? If उसका RAM चला गया, how do I raise a request with Dell? How do I raise a request with HP? How do I get replace that RAM? Or if I have to increase the RAM size, how do I get that? You don't have to worry. In fact, you don't even come to know which hardware you're using. On top of that, which hypervisor are you using? Which version, patches of hypervisor? How is it working? Is it working fine? Do I have to upgrade my hypervisor? You don't even have to worry about it. Cloud will take care of it. Cloud gives you one internet connected portal, and using the portal, you can use this infrastructure and then start creating your machines. That we are going to see when we see the cloud model. But is virtualization as a topic clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, we have 3 minutes
Yes.
left in this session, so I don't want to start cloud immediately, right? So if you guys have any questions, any doubt, please let me know. If not, in next session, we are going to start with cloud. Guys, I see Dell and iPhone 15 Pro Max. In next session, guys, please try to join with your name, right? We still have 2 minutes left. If anyone has any doubt, any question, please do ask. So here we covered virtualization. We still haven't started cloud. Anyone has any doubt, any question in virtualization? Yes, guys, yes, no, maybe.
No, I'm good.
Okay, then let me stop the session. Uh, I may need 5 minutes to get the recording converted. Let's rejoin at 12:45, sharp 12:45 using the same link. And guys, please try to join with your name. I'm stopping the session now.